Hello my friends, in this tutorial I am going to show you how to use the newspaper flash transition template which I created for you guys. If you open the file, you will see 4 folders and 1 PRFPSET file for Premiere. First thing you do is go to the Effects panel and make a right click on Presets and click on Import Preset and choose the file and import it. You will now see the effect in your presets folder. These effects you can use as add-on of this effect. I will explain it later. Go to the project panel and drag the bonus folder inside Premiere. In this folder you see film burns, sound and grainy, and dirt overlays, which you can also use as a add-on of this effect. Then you see a font folder where you can have a newspaper font or you use your installed fonts. You can be sure that this font have a license for private or commercial use. Then you have the mogrt file, which is actually our final newspaper effects. To import this effect in Premiere Pro 2025, you just need to go to your graphics templates. If you don't see them, go to the Windows panel and look for the graphics templates and also the properties which we need for our settings. Let's jump to the graphics templates now and click on this small plus icon and choose the mogrt file from our folder and import it. You see now this newspaper effect in the preview on the left. What we are going to do now is to drag some clips to our timeline. Let's do the effect with some models and see how easy it is to use it. Next, go back to the graphics template and drag and drop the effect to your timeline. In the Properties panel, you see now some adjustments which you can do. If you open this drop-down, you see 5 transitions which you can choose and the number of the image sequence for this effect. Let's bring first the newspaper transition to 1080p. Since this is 4K, check out the first transition. You can also edit the text titles from the newspaper. For that, just click on the text edit panel and there you will see all the headline from this newspaper, which you can edit. For example, let's type a random title and see how it changes in the newspaper. You can use the font I give you or just the ones you have on your computer. It will then automatically change it. Just play a bit till you like the final look of the titles. You can also play with the size and position. Always look for the title you want to change and then just change it. You see how easy it is to do it. Choose titles which fits to your project. So next, let's start with the first transition, and under our drop-down menu you see 5 pictures. Change them to your own ones by drag and drop them. The transition tells you which pictures are needed. For example, for the first one we need picture 1 and 2. Important is the pictures need to fit to the transition. That means go to the last frame of your first clip and make a screenshot. Highlight our newspaper effect and drag and drop the first picture to the first picture in the effect. Next, we are going to do the same with the end part. Drag a random clip to the timeline after our newspaper effect and go to the first frame of the clip and also make a screenshot. Highlight again our newspaper clip and drag and drop the screenshot to the second picture. Since this is connected to After Effects, you can lower the quality by clicking this drop down when your computer is a bit slower. Since our first picture of the newspaper effect starts with a horizontal picture, you can of course play with the position of your clip by making adjustments. In the Properties panel, the adjustments you see of course live in the preview. Let's bring our 2 models to the middles. The second pictures in the newspaper is already looking good. Let's check the effect now. Looks already crazy dope. You can leave it like this or you're gonna tune this up. For that, create an adjustment layer and drag it to the clip after our newspaper effect. Make the adjustment layer 6 frames long and go to the Effects panel where we just imported our effects in the folder. You can choose between this effects. What I recommend is to start with a shake after the newspaper effect. Drag and drop it to the layer and check it out, this effect with this shake. Looks more intense. In the bonus folder you also have film burns as mentioned, which you can also use for this effect. Just open the folder and choose between 5 burns. Drag one to the timeline. Since also they are 4K, scale them to frame size so they fits our project. Just use the right start of the film burn or use the full length. Drag it to the part, maybe after our shake effect, and go to the effect controls and set the blend mode to screen. Let's check it now with the shake and film burn. Looks way better. That's why I give you the effects and overlay to tune this up. If this effect is to vintage or to yellow looking, I had the idea to give you the opportunity to change it to black and white with a bit of noise. For that, create an adjustment layer and put it over the newspaper effect. Then go to the effects and drag the BW grain to it and see how the color is changing. Let's check it now in black and white. Let me show you another effect in this newspaper transition. For that, drag the effect on your timeline. Don't be afraid when this red error message is coming. Since this is connected to After Effects, give it a few seconds and the effect will appear. Do the same procedure what we have just did in the first transition. Scale it to frame size. And choose in the Properties panel this time Transition 2. It will jump now to another part of the newspaper. Let's see how this effect is looking. With our footage it will look nice. Let's drag a clip to the timeline and make a cut where you want. Then make the screenshot and drag the clip on start of the newspaper effect. For this effect we need picture 2 and 3. You can see this in the Properties panel. So open the second picture and drag it to the panel. We also need the end part of the newspaper effect. So for that, choose a clip from your project and drag it to the timeline. Find the right part and make a screenshot on the first frame. Drag the clip to the newspaper effect and drag and drop the screenshot on the third placeholder in the Properties. You can copy the effects we just did or make new ones. Let's see how this effect is looking with our new pictures. Also, this transition is looking crazy dope. Just do the same with the other transitions, and if you need any help, just let me know, but you see how easy it is to use this effect. Just check the number of the pictures which you need to include. Also, don't forget to change the titles if you want. I show you again how to do this. Go to the text edit in the Properties panel and go to the headline, which you want to change. Choose a headline which fits to your project. It will then appear in the newspaper preview on your screen. Then check the font I also put in this pack or use the one you want. In this pack, I also put some overlays inside like grain or dirt. Just check them out. Drag them into your timeline and find the right position for it. Either you drag it above our newsletter effect or after it. Scale it to frame size since this is 4K and set the blend mode to overlay. You will now see a bit of grain which make it even more vintage. As mentioned, you can also put this on top of our effect. Last but not least, and also a very important step, is sound design. For this effect, I also included sounds which are fitting to this transitions, like a camera flash, cinematic whooshes, and some paper sound. Play with them and drag, for example, the camera flash to the beginning of the newspaper transition, and the whoosh you can put on the zoom from picture 2. If it's too fast, you can play with the speed to match the speed of this zoom. And of course, the paper unfold sound effect, which imitate a newspaper sound when you hold it on your hand. Last, you can also put another whoosh on the end part of this effect, and then you should be good to go. Once you are done with the sounds, let's see how it looks and sounds now. If you have any questions, let me know. I am going to show you now all the 5 transitions you can do with this pack. Please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel and check out this pack.